Hey everybody, it is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. And today, is Thursday, December 26, 2019. And we again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. As you know, in my opinion, the last hour is the most important time to place your buying and selling make your buying and selling decisions, especially in the last few minutes. During the daytime, you have the algorithms, you have the day traders making a lot of noise. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions, the market makers coming in, and in my opinion, moving the price to what the most valid price of the day is. So, guys, hold on one second. Somebody knocked on my door, and now I'm not sure. All right, sorry about that. So my heater blew up yesterday. If you guys remember, about a month ago, my heater blew up. And yesterday on Christmas, it blew up. So yeah, you could do, yeah, there you go. So anyway, nice guy Alan's here. He's going to fix me up, hopefully, right, Al? Yes, sir. So on Thanksgiving, we had the awning collapse. And then on Christmas, we had the heater blow up. So anyway, I was in my parka and all sorts of clothes. Am I right, Alan? Yep. That's right. I look like I'm going snowmobiling. So anyway, all right. So we're having a good day. Dow is up 46 points, up 0.16%. NASDAQ's up 54, up about 0.61%. S&P's up 9, so up 0.3%. So NASDAQ, clear winner today. So anyway, thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. It's always nice to see you. Appreciate you spending your time here, investing your time, and hopefully it's helping with your trading and your investing. So all right, let's take a look. Hey, Evan is here. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming. Hope you had a good Christmas. I hope everyone had a good Christmas. So all right, so it might be a touch noisy because he's installing something in the heater. So anyway, we're just going to have to deal with that. So hope that's all right. So, all right. So here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to go ahead and run the U.S. legal disclaimer. After that, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at all my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and most importantly, how I'm going to manage them going forward, either to the upside or the downside. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology, some trading words of wisdom. As you know, the most important skill that you can develop in trading is your psychology and be able to stick to your plan. It's important to be able to, identify the support, resistance levels, the indicators. That is all very important. You have to know how to do that to get in and get out. But after that, the most important thing that you need to, the skill that you need to develop is being able to follow your plan, not letting your emotions get out of line. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is position size conservatively. After that, we're going to go down through my watch list. We're going to take a look at each stock. We're going to look at support, resistance levels, indicators such as MACD, RSI, moving averages, ATR channels. And in my opinion, my philosophy of trading is if you want to enter a position, you have the best chance for that position to go up if you're in with as many groups of buyers as possible. I look at indicators as groups of buyers, and therefore I like to look for a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up together, or another way to put it is for a confluence or combinations of groups of buyers. So that's what I look for. That's step one. Step two, so we need to make sure, even if we do have a good confluence of buyers or of signals, that we have a good risk to reward ratio. If you're going to risk $100, you want to be able to make $200 or more to the upside. So that's very important. And then third, we want to make sure we don't have too many correlated positions. We don't want to have 4 tech stocks, right? We want to have some diversity. We want to have some tech stocks, maybe some health stocks, maybe some tobacco, maybe something outside of equities, such as oil, gold, bonds, silver, something like that. So those are, my philosophy on trading. That's what you need. One, a confluence of buyers or indicators. Number two, you have to have a good risk to reward ratio. Number three, you have to make sure you're diversified and you don't have too many positions in the same sector. So And then after that, after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me whatsoever, please feel free, ask me. Don't be shy. You can just put them in the chat and I'll do my best to answer them. If there are any symbols that you would like me to take a look at, I'm happy to break down the chart and give you my humble opinion. And if you see any symbol today that you think would be helpful for the group that you'd like to get my opinion on before the market closes, please just let me know. Put it in the chat. Maybe put a star by it, something like that, so I know it's time sensitive. All right, so that is the plan. So I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Hang tight, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All righty. Hey, Christopher Hitchin is here from the UK. Good to see you, Chris. Hope you had a good Christmas. Thank you for coming. Hey, Steve Burns. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you had a good Christmas, you, Holly, and the dogs. And thank you so much for being here. Appreciate everything that you do with your books and your courses and your mentoring and all the stuff that you do, Steve. Always an honor. Steve says, Amazon finally got its wings today. Yes, it did. And fortunately, we were in that position. So good for us, right, Steve? Christopher says, Amazon doing amazing. Yes, definitely. Hey, Toby Petty, what's going on? Hope you had a good Christmas. Thank you for coming, Toby. Always good to see you. Hey, Kurt, what's going on, my brother? Good to see you. Hope you had a good Christmas as well. Hey, Murat, good to see you. That's our friend from Scandinavia, from Norway. So it's great seeing you, Murat. Dirk, hello, everybody. Greetings from Belgium. Oh, that's right. Dirk is from Belgium. Good to see you, Dirk. Hope you had a good Christmas. Kyle, how you doing, Kyle? I don't think I've seen your name before. Great to have you here. Thank you for coming. Curious what you think about PTON dip today. All right, we will definitely take a look at it in just a minute, but thank you for coming, Kyle. Thank you so much. Hope you keep coming back. Lolly, nice to see you. Hope you had a good Christmas and look forward to seeing you soon. If you have any questions for me today, Lolly, let me know, okay? And then Marco from Slovenia. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you had a good Christmas. So, okay, well, we are having a pretty good day, so let's get to it and take a look, starting off with Amazon. Look at this monster. Look at this monster. So I did buy it back here on the 17th of December. I bought it when we had a close back above the 250-day moving average. It's a good back-tested approach to trading Amazon. Nothing super special about the 250-day moving average, but it does give you a good line in the sand. So if you're wrong small. And if you're right, you have the ability for upsized rewards. And that's exactly what happened. We bought it. It kind of just moved sideways, It was consolidating. Today, we had a monster up 4.3%. As you can see, I think this is a record for me, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 profit targets on Amazon today. Unbelievable. Definitely over the 200-day. It's raced past the third ATR channel. It's a 72.26 RSI. So listen, if this closes under 70 today, that's going to go ahead and be my signal to just lock in profits on the shares that I have left. If it closes above 70 RSI, I will keep it, and I will be targeting the 6 ATR channel up here as my final profit target. So what a day on Amazon, huh, everybody? And it came in with volume as well. So anyway, I feel fortunate that we're part of this. And again, if it closes under the 70, I will go ahead and just lock in profits. If it closes over the 70, I will continue to phase out until we get up here to the 6 ATR channel, or we close back below the 70 RSI. So anyway, wonderful trade. Amazon's been kind of a sleeper lately, but today it definitely woke up. All right, GE. I did buy GE back here on the 23rd of December. I bought it when we had this higher low V2 right here at 11:16. Here is day one. Here is day two. Day two washes out day one. Day three, the day we bought it, closed above day one's close. So my stop here, initial stop, is the 50% Fibonacci number, Fibonacci support here of the washout day. However, as you know, when I trade, if I take a position, a nice setup, it should move my way fairly quickly. And it's been 2 days since I bought it, hasn't done much, still profitable on the trade. But my instinct here is to go ahead and just close this out and take a small profit on this today, because when you have a nice setup like this, it should move. And it's just kind of stalling out here, not participating in the rally, which I view as somewhat bearish. So I'm going to go ahead today, unless it has a nice big move here at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead, just lock in that small profit and just be done with it. Gold. All right, so another good trade on gold. We took gold back here on the 13th of December when we had the 520 EMA crossover. This is a good back-tested approach. It does not have a high winning percentage, but it does have a very good risk to reward ratio. If you're right, you can be right large. If you're wrong pretty quick and pretty small. And that's the key to profitable trading. You have to have big wins, you have to have small wins, break-even trades, even small losses. This is all okay. You just can't have big losses. That's what's going to mess you up with trading. So anyway, we did buy it here. It was just hanging nice, nice and steady here. And then the last few days, it's really gone rocketing up. Did hit 2 profit targets. This blue line here is the 70 RSI. We're at 70.88, so similar to Amazon. If this closes over 70, I will go ahead and keep this and then shoot for my ultimate profit target up here. If it does close over 70, I will just go ahead, lock in the gains. But that's been a nice example of a 520 EMA crossover on gold. So very, very grateful for that. Silver. All right, so same as gold. I did buy silver back here on the 19th of December when we had the 5 EMA cross over the 20 EMA. It just immediately went our way, and as you can see, hit 3 profit targets today right here at the 6ATR channel. 6ATR channel is always my ultimate profit, and I did hit all 3, and even at the one at the 6ATR channel. So I am out of this position. Totally out, phased out, phased out, phased out, phased out, right up to my ultimate profit target. So this was a great trade. This was a great trade on silver, from entry up to where it is now, about 4.72% in about 4 days. Now, of course, I phased out, so I did not get that entire 4.7%. But anyway, great trade on gold and silver. All right. World famous overnight SPY trade. Oh man, now where did my, sorry, let me move this over here. And let me move this over here. All right, so you hear me say this every day, but in case we do have some new viewers, I do want to go over this. I do buy the SPY every day at the close of the market, and I sell it first thing the next morning. It has nothing to do with technicals, RSI levels, indicators, anything. It has to do with the long-term back-tested study from Lizanne Saunders at Bespoke Invest. She's the chief investment strategist over at Charles Schwab. But with this back test, this was back tested from 1993, and you have 2 options with this back test. First option, you could buy the SPY at the open each day, sell it at the close every day. So buy the open, sell the close, buy the open, sell the close. If you would have done this approach every single day since 1993, you would have returned a negative 13.9% return for all your troubles. However, if you do the opposite, which is what I do, and buy the SPY instead of the open, you buy it at the close and you sell it first thing the next morning. Buy the close, sell the next morning. Buy the close, sell the next morning. If you would have used this approach every day since 1993, you've actually returned a positive 634.2% return. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. Of course, we know that with any trading approach, but what's fascinating about this means that all of the gains in the US stock market, at least in the S&P 500 since 1993, have come from people bidding it up in the after hours, bidding it up in the pre-market, and selling it into the open. So all of our gains, all of the gains since 1993 have not come during the day. During the day, you don't get a lot of movement. Look at the orange line. This is buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon. There's no movement here. The reward comes from taking the risk overnight. Most day traders do not like to hold anything overnight. They think it's dangerous and risky, but in reality, it's dangerous and risky not to hold overnight because that is where the gains come from. And you can see this chart. It shows, if you have an edge in your trading approach, what it can look like and develop over time. If you position size correctly and you're able to, rinse and repeat the process every single day. It doesn't go straight up. Nothing goes straight up. There's always ups and downs. That's why it's important to position size correctly. But anyway, so that is why I buy the SPY every day at the close and I sell it first thing the next morning. And as you can see, I did buy the SPY on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. I feel like it's Monday. I bought it on Tuesday at 321.23. I sold it today at 321.69. So did have a nice little overnight gap. Did hit an all-time high using this approach, and it is higher than when we sold it, but that's fine. But this has been some market, I'll tell you what. But anyway, this has been a nice gain here on the overnight SPY, and I will be buying this, of course, again, like every day at the end of the market. All right, lastly, we almost ran the table with all positive trades. The VIX, I did buy the VIX back here on the 20th of December. I bought it at 1501. I bought it because we went under 30, over 30. We rejected the third ATR channel. We had this nice V1 entry, and we also had a false breakout to the downside. Here's the low of the previous range. We snuck our head down there, reversed back up, but it's come back down a little bit. It is down slightly today, just 5 cents. So I have two options here, guys. Two options for my stop. First stop would be, here's the V1, so halfway of this would be the washout bar. Now, of course, if I use this stop, it's going to be closer. It's going to keep my loss smaller. My second option is I could use a 30 RSI, close below the 30 RSI as my stop. Now, of course, this one gives you more room to breathe, but if you're wrong, you lose more. So either one of these is fine, to be honest with you. This is a tough one. I'm gonna have to make a game time decision at the end of the day here, whether or not I'm gonna use this one or this one. If it, obviously right now it's over the first stop, so it'd be fine to keep. But the thing is, now remember, I only took a quarter position on this because the volatility on the VIX is higher. But from here down here would be another 2% risk. I do like what it did today. I do like how it gapped lower and reversed higher. That is bullish. So anyway, really great day today. All winners except for the VIX, which is slightly down. So did hit a yearly high today. So I am definitely grateful and happy for that. Anytime we hit yearly highs, something to be thankful for. Not to get cocky about, just something to be thankful for. So, all right, let's take a look. Oh boy, we have a lot of comments. Oh, I hear my heater. That's music to my ears over there. All right, so Kyle, let's take a look at PTON. PTON. So Kyle, I don't see anything that interests me here. We did come into the value zone. We went sideways. Now we failed. We've lost the 50-day moving average. That's not positive. What I would be looking for here, oh, it doesn't have a 200-day. What I would be looking for here would be a rejection to the downside of the 30 RSI. So it would have to go down quite a bit more under 30, over 30. That would be one option. Another option is if we could move back into the value zone, which are the green lines. If we could move back into the value zone, then have a couple days down and then have a V1 or a V2 trigger. That's what I would be looking for. But I really don't see any potential signals here, at least the way that I trade on PTON, Kyle. No Hernandez, good to see you. I think this is the first time you've been here. Thank you so much for coming and hope you had a good Christmas. Do you invest on penny stocks? No, I do not. I would not even consider it, to be honest with you. No, I just would not. I like to trade big stocks that have a lot of liquidity, that have a good bid-ask spread, and that have institutional following. That's very important. But no, I would not invest in penny stocks. Pat O'Connell, good to see you, Pat. Hope you had a good Christmas. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Apple made 100% up in 1 year. Crazy. I know. It's unbelievable. Apple is unbelievable. I mean, it just keeps going up. I mean, it makes me wonder, who's buying up here, But, hey, joke's on me because I haven't been buying it because it's been going up and up and up. So, it's 288.78. It might get to 300. It might get to 300, or at least the 6th ATR channel up here. It's hard to say. Dr. Long, good to see you. Hello, all. Happy Silver Amazon Day. Yeah, and gold. Happy Silver Amazon and Gold Day. Good to see you, Doc. Hope you had a good Christmas. Frank, good to see you, sir. Trading is not a competition. It's often dull with repetition. So trade if you must, and don't make a fuss. For the trader who waits and bides his time will find their portfolio is doing just fine. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Frank. I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna post that on Twitter if you don't mind. Frank is so good with the rhymes. Good to see you, Frank. Hope you had a good Christmas. Andrea, hey, how you doing? Hey, everyone, sold my gold calls for a little profit. Good for you. Nice to see you. Dirk, can you please once again explain how you calculate the profit margins and how do you put them in the markets? All right, so that's a little bit of a tough question as far as how much time I have available, Dirk. I do have a link to a lesson down below in the description of this video where it talks about how I set my profit targets. So if you could, Dirk, take a look at that because it's I just don't have enough time right now to do that. But just real quick, kind of Cliff Notes version, I do scale out every time the price goes up 0.45 ATRs from my entry. And I usually set 3 profit targets. If it's above the 50 RSI, I target the 6th ATR channel as my ultimate profit. If it's under the 50, like a deep dip buy at 30, 35, I basically target the 50. But I think the best thing, Dirk, is if you could watch that video. It's down below in the description of this video. There's a YouTube link. It's totally free, and it talks about how I set my profit targets. So take a look at that video, and if you have any other questions, Dirk, I'm happy to do it, or happy to help clarify it for you. Frank, Amazon should stand for amazing this day. Got in at 1825. Very nice. Greg, Steve says our 520 EMA crossover gold and silver trades were great ones as well. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. And I was just thinking to myself, Steve, I think you and I both did not take the double leverage. We just took the single because the last few trades were stinkers. Frank says they're called penny stocks for a reason. No. Yeah, no, I just don't mess around with penny stocks. That's just not where I play around in. Gold calls up 6-fold. Woo, nice. Clappy hands for Frank, right, Murat? That's true. I tweeted your poem. Love it. Nice. Okay, good. Good, Dirk. Watch that. All right. So listen, this is the time of the day where I do like to talk a little bit about trader psychology. There's some really great Twitter channels out there. They spend a lot of time and effort, burn a lot of calories in posting good sayings, good trading words of wisdom about trading that if you listen to and follow is going to help your trading. One of the best ones out there is Thomas Paine at Trader T Pain on Twitter. If you have not followed him, I really would suggest that you do. But Thomas says, you must realize your risk to reward ratio evolves during a trade, right? Example, you may plan a trade with an 8% risk and a 20% reward. But once you are up 15%, you are essentially risking 23%, your open profits plus the stop loss, to only collect the remaining 5% that you had in the first place for your reward, right? Assuming stop loss wasn't moved. So, it's so true. That's why I like to use trailing stops. That's why I like to move my my trailing stop up, because once it gets super high, then your risk to reward becomes skewed, and you have more downside risk than upside risk. I mean, let's take a look at Amazon. So my initial risk on Amazon was basically from here to here, very small risk. Now the rest of my reward is potentially from here up to here if it holds above the 50 or the 70 RSI. I'm certainly not going to risk this much to only get that much back, right? So it is very important that you trail your stops, because like Thomas says, your risk to reward ratio evolves during a trade. So that's why I like to phase out to the upside. That's why I like to move my trailing stop up once it starts extending my way. So thank you so much, Thomas, and hope Thomas had a good Christmas as well. Appreciate you sharing that. Steve says, LOL, I thought of course single leverage would be the one that trended. I know. I was thinking the same thing. But hey, let's be happy. We could have not, worst case scenario, we could have said, oh, this didn't work the last 3 times, I'm not taking it this time. But, we stayed strong, followed our signals, and it worked out for us for sure. Okay. Let's take a look-see. All right, let me clean a little something up here. All right. All right. Frank, that's the best poem ever. Frank just freestyles that off the top of his head. So I have 2 poems from Frank that I have to post on Twitter. I was going to do it last night, but I was huddling and shivering with Katie, barely making it. No, I'm kidding. I have a fireplace too. So, all right. Well, let's get to this. Now, I'm going to go down through here pretty quick on the stocks that have really not interesting at all. I'm going to go a little faster than usual, just so I have more time to take a look at your stocks and your comments before the market closes. So Amazon 77, 78 RSI, way too high. I was just discussing this with Alan, the HVAC guy. We were talking about buying stocks, not full retail, but waiting to buy at least at value or below value. But in value would be between here, the 1 ATR channel and the -1. I'm not going to get interested in Apple unless we minimum come down here into the value zone and buy at value. This is really high, above value, extended. I don't want to buy it up here. It could just keep going up, and that's just tough, right? Because my signals and my plan do not call for buying up here. And even if it goes up, well, that's fine. And congratulations to everybody that has Apple, but I need a pullback. Adobe's doing fine. It's above the 70 RSI, above the 3rd ATR channel, way too extended. I need to pull back into value. Amazon just keeps trucking on up there. Like I said, as long as it stays above the 70 RSI, I will go ahead and keep Amazon. If it fails here at the end of the day and closes under, I will go ahead and get out. My ultimate profit target on this going forward, if I don't get out, is up here about 1909, which is the 6th ATR channel. But great trade so far. Boeing down today, making looks like we're going to close below the previous day's low. I am interested in Boeing. Not now, not here, not right this second, but when I get a setup. Boeing's a very strong company. I think it has a lot of potential in the future with all the space development that we have and so forth and so on. But right now, it's having its trials and tribulations because of the 737 Maxes and so forth. So anyway, I will be waiting, and ideally under 30, over 30 RSI. That would be my entry point and give me a good risk to reward. Berkshire Hathaway above the 1 ATR channel, need a pullback into value, need some consolidations in a V1, V2. Beyond Meat, have traded this a few times, nothing here. We did make a lower high. See how this high here is lower than this high? So in order for me to take a V1 or V2 now, I need a washout of this previous low. We did buy it back here under 30, over 30, had some profit targets and it stalled out. I got out, but did stay with the profit. Entered here again on this higher low V2, up, scaled out, then got up. I didn't like the price action that day. So for me to be interested in Beyond Meat now, I'd have to wash out this previous low and look for a V1 or V2. Caterpillar, just too high, need to pull back into value. Dow Jones, 70.06. So it should be interesting to see whether or not we can hold that 70 RSI level, especially being that we rejected the third ATR channel. Remember, 90% of prices fail at the third ATR channel. And this is dovetailing with the rejection of the third ATR channel and perhaps losing the 70 RSI. So those two triggers right there, those two signals there, I would consider bearish. But I would wait for a pullback into the value zone before I got involved in Dow Jones. Disney, just not doing anything, not really participating. If you remember, we had the big day up when Disney Plus came out here. This huge bar. We should have some kind of theoretical support here at the 50% Fibonacci level support right here at 142.10. So that's the halfway. If we extend it over to here, that 142.10 dovetails nicely with that negative third ATR channel. Remember, 90% of prices tend to bounce and hold at the third ATR channel. So I would be interesting to see some kind of V1, false breakout to the downside, something here on Disney at this level, but nothing today. Etsy, dang, Etsy's the one that got away. I wanted to buy it here with this higher low V2, but it didn't trigger at the end of the day. Unfortunately, I missed that. If I were in Etsy right now, it did reject the 200-day moving average, the declining 50 moving average. If I was in this trade, I would probably be getting out here today unless it miraculously closed back above. Facebook, just too high, need to pull back into value. Of course, gold we have. 2 profit targets today. If it holds above 70, I will continue to hold gold. If it closes under, I'll just lock in profits. Google, V2 here. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1, day 3 closes. Looks like it's going to close above day 1. This is a V2, but it's too high for me. I can't buy over this 1 ATR channel. I considered that extended. So nothing on Google. Goldman Sachs, too high. I need to pull back into value. Home Depot, we had that nice bounce near the third ATR channel. What I would be looking for now is a pullback into the value zone, sideways movement for at least a couple days, and then a false breakout to the downside, or in other words, a V1 or a V2 back up to the upside. IBB has been very, very strong. It is down today. Does have a double top with a bearish divergence, although I'm not going to get involved. Here we have the previous high. This should act as some kind of support. So nothing there. Intel doing very well. Kurt, you must be doing great on your options. You're probably at 90% right now, right, on your premium. So, talking about, I just talked about risk to reward becomes skewed over time. I know this is not a real trade, but if it were a real trade, you would be, you only have 10% left of that premium that you could get compared to how much you could lose if it goes back down. So that's why with options, I generally, if I'm selling premium, if I'm selling puts, I usually get out when I have 80 to 90% of my premium under my belt, because then the risk to reward ratio changes. IWM, just too high, need to pull back. Johnson & Johnson, need to pull back into the value zone. CarMax, I've been waiting to see whether or not CarMax can retake the 30 RSI. Not quite yet, but I would consider it if it does, if and when it does. Coca-Cola, need to pull back into value. Lockheed Martin's above the 1 ATR channel, now need to pull back into value, right? Once we're above the 1 ATR channel, now I need to pull back into value. Sideways movement, showing that the prices have stopped going down, that there's no more supply coming into the market, stabilizing, then look for a V1 or a V2. MasterCard's above the 1 ATR channel, I consider it overvalued, need to pull back into the value zone. Mickey D's, we did make a higher high here. We are into the value zone. We went down one day, then we held, then we held. So here, if we get a V1 or V2 in the coming days, I might be interested in McDonald's there. Merck, just too high. Looks like it's underneath the 3rd ATR channel now, so we'll pull back into value. Microsoft, just too high. Need to pull back into value. This was the previous high back here. Well, I guess this was, but this was another previous high back here. Should hold some support. You know, this was resistance. Now we're above it. If we're above it coming down, that previous resistance should act as support. So again, just a waiting game. Netflix, way too high. Need to pull back into the value zone. Nike, pull back into the value zone. Philip Morris, looks like it did reject the 70 RSI. We had a great trade on Philip Morris. This was above the 1 ATR channel, came back into the value zone, waiting for it to go sideways for a couple days. Well, we got about a week sideways movement, which was exactly what I was looking for. Then here was our V1 entry, and we rode it all the way up to here. And we got out here at the end of the day when it rejected the 70 RSI and the 3rd ATR channel. So that was a fantastic trade. Excellent example of a pullback into value, sideways movement, and V1, V2 entry. PayPal, hanging above the 200-day moving average. It's also above the 1 ATR channel, just too high for me to get involved. Q's made an all-time high today, a little off of its high. It's a 79.84. So anyway, congratulations, you guys that have tech stocks. Silver, I already mentioned, we took the 520 EMA cross here, moved up nicely. I did scale out of my last amount right here at the very top, so I'm thankful for that. If I had not phased out, I would be locking in profit if it closed under the 70 RSI. Right now it's flirting with it at 70.22. SPY, of course, we had the nice overnight SPY trade. I'll be buying that again at the end of the day. TLT, I do kind of like what TLT's doing. I mean, we did come down. We've started to move sideways, showing that there were no more sellers. Now we're back into the value zone. Here's the -1 ATR. We are back in the value zone. So maybe another couple days up, couple days down. I'd look for that higher low V1 or V2. Tesla is an absolute short killer. Can you imagine if you got stubborn here and decided you're just going to keep it and keep it and keep it like it's made its high? That's where people get into trouble, everybody, is when you make the determination in your head that it is too high, it can't go up any higher, or it's too low and it can't go any lower. Please don't let yourself get into that space, right? Set your parameters, set your stop loss. If you're wrong, just happily get out. Know that you can live to fight another day. But imagine if you thought this was as high it was going to go, and then here, and then here. I mean, if you can't cover your short here, how can you cover it here, or here, or here, or here, or here? See what I mean? So just take that first quick loss. It's the easiest and best loss. Twitter has rejected 1, 2, 3 times the 3rd ATR channel. I'm not surprised. So anyway, I would be looking for a pullback into the value zone somewhere in here. United Healthcare Group, just too high. Need to pull back into value. Oil, strong again today, up against the 3rd ATR channel. We'll see whether or not that can hold or not. 68.60 RSI. Let's see how high we got. We got about 69.18, so we didn't quite test the 70 RSI yet. I do have to mention though, 70 RSIs, 30 RSIs, they work better on equities than they do commodities, because commodities can tend to trend longer and stronger in one direction than equities, because equities are more of mean reversion. All right, VIX. So again, I'm going to have to decide what to do here. My gut, honestly, is to take the bigger stop loss down here. I mean, we've moved sideways. We're still above the third ATR channel. You know, the market's making new highs. The VIX is not making new lows. There's a divergence there. So, and especially because this is a quarter position, I only took a quarter position. So, yeah, most likely I will use the 30 RSI as my stop. And right now it is above 1489, so it is above even the tighter stop. So I'll watch that again at the end of the day. Verizon, we're above the 1 ATR channel, need to come back into the value zone. We are back in the value zone. Now we need a couple days sideways of V1, V2. Walmart not participating in this at all, but we were above the 1 ATR channel. We are back into the value zone. We've held steady 2 days in a row here, right? And so if we could get a V1 or a V2 now, that would be completely legitimate. Energy Select did reject the third ATR channel. Need to pull back into value. Financials came back into value a little bit and then bounced here, but nothing here. Real estate, we bounced off the 200-day. We've moved back into the value zone. We had 1 day down. I'm looking for a couple days down, and then I'm looking for a V1 or V2, a higher low V1 or V2. Utilities went above the 1 ATR channel. Need to see it come back down into the value zone, sideways movement, and then healthcare just too extended. So, with that said, let's take a look here. Okay. So, oh, that was happening. So Amazon. Amazon looks good. Amazon looks fine as long as it closes above the 70 RSI. GE, like I said, it hasn't moved. It hasn't done anything. I'm going to go ahead, just basically take a scratch trade. Small win, actually. I mean, at least right now. Gold holding over the 70. I will keep it. Silver out of SPY. Going to be buying the SPY at the end of the day. And VIX. So yeah, so far so good. So far so good. Johnny, what's going on, Johnny? Good to see you, my friend. Johnny says, I just want to pop in, say happy holidays to the group. I missed you on Christmas Eve. Hey, thanks, Johnny. Happy holidays to you, my friend. Good seeing you. Come back whenever you can. It's always nice to have you here. Christopher says, what price do you have Amazon 70 RSI? Let's take a look. It would be right about oops, wrong one. Oh well. Sorry. Right about here, about 1851. Christopher, 1851 looks like it's the 70 RSI. Dr. Long said he bought puts on IBB. All right, well, look, you've got a double top with the bearish divergence. Lost the 70, at least right now it looks like we've lost the 70 RSI. Not bad, Dr. Long. I mean, I can't blame you there at all. What strike price did you use? Kurt says, Intel only 80%, LOL. I just closed out the position. Don't want to be greedy. Yeah, exactly. I'll be looking for another put today. All right, sounds good, Kurt. So that was your first put that you sold. Murat, the spot oil is the fourth ATR channel, but Saudi Arabia has tightened the oil shipments, which is pushing the price to artificial levels. Yeah, everything seems like artificial levels right now. Yeah, I am going to be closing GE. It didn't hit my stop. It's just not doing anything. It just hasn't participated here. And remember, if I take a nice return to value V1 or V2 and it doesn't go anywhere after a couple days, I usually just get out of it. Pat says, Greg, do you ever buy SPY options for the overnight trade? No, I don't. I think the time decay on the options is going to hurt you, Pat. But I've never seen any back tests on that. Alan, how we doing? Does it work? Does it seem good?
Yes. Yeah, it's temperature's good and everything.
Okay.
Operating in range, it sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Sounds like really quiet now.
Yeah, you're up and under, buddy. Just making some final notes here, and payment went through and everything.
Okay, great. Thank you. 122 are the options. Let's see. 122. Okay, so a little bit out of the money. When do they expire? Swap. Hey, Swap. Good to have you. Hi, Greg. How are you? Have a happy holidays. I was wondering about Citigroup and Bank of America is going up and up. What do you think about the bank stocks? So, well, let's see. What's the symbol for Citigroup? Is it C? Hey, look at that. Well, it's pretty dang high. I definitely wouldn't be buying it up here, and I think it would be very dangerous to short as well. I would probably stay far away from this swap until we have a pullback in value. Yes, it's high. It's really high, but it could go higher, right? I mean, these things tend to happen. Oh, Alan, do you have a filter?
I don't know that I have them that same size.
It's a 24.
Yeah, it's a 2-inch, so it should last you 2 to 3 months.
It should? Okay. So yeah, so Citigroup, I just think it's too high. Swap. I would wait for a pullback if you wanted to get interested, but I wouldn't short it up here either, I can tell you that. And Bank of, oh no, what did we do now? There we go. What's the symbol for Bank of America? Bank of America. Oh, BAC. Yeah, just too high. Just too high, everybody. I mean, I need that pullback. It just does not offer a good risk to reward ratio up here, in my opinion. Okay. So I do not see anything to buy today, guys. Everything's so extended. You know, it's important that you don't get caught up in FOMO, fear of missing out. You know, it's holiday session right now. Price is going to be more volatile because of, you know, less liquidity, so forth and so on. So, you know, if there's not a trade to take, just sit on your hands and you don't have to take a trade. So let's take a look at our currents. So Amazon definitely looks like it's holding above like a champion. GE, I'm going to get out of. Gold. Oh, 1 second. This better not be over $100. Done?
Yeah.
What was the bill?
643.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you doing that. And if I have any problems, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you shout.
Okay. If I can ever help you, you just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Hey, hold on 1 sec.
Yep.
Hold on, guys. 1 second. Hey, good seeing you.
Yeah. See
Thank you
later.
very much. Appreciate it. Drive safe.
All right, we'll do.
Okay, we'll see you. All right, so thanks to Alan for fixing me up. Appreciate that. Hope you have a good day, Alan.
Okay, see you.
Bye-bye now. All right. So I hope that helps, Swap. Dr. Long says, some expire tomorrow, very cheap. I would imagine. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday, so thank you for the info. BAC. Yep. Shelton Johnson, hey, how you doing, Shelton? I think Shelton's been here before. It sounds familiar. If you haven't, I apologize, but if you have, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming back. And if it's your first time, I hope you keep coming back. Swap says, also, I was wondering why gold is moving up as our stock market is also moving up. I think there is something we don't know about the market. Could be. I was thinking the same thing as well, Swap. You know, sometimes gold does go up with the market. Sometimes gold goes down with the market. Sometimes they go opposite of each other. You never quite know, do you? You never quite know. All we can do really is, take our signals when we have them, not try to second guess the market, and that's like the best advice I have for anybody. Shelton says, doing well, my friend. Happy holiday. Happy holiday to you too, Shelton. Man, I'm so glad to have my heater back. Ugh. All right. Oh, hey, let's take a look real quick. I'm sorry. I knew I felt like we were missing something. Having the heater guy here, guy kind of messed me up. So, Alan and Amansolo took Comcast back here on the 19th. Rejected the 200-day moving average. Also had a higher low V1. This has moved up nicely, guys. Really, really nicely. So, just make sure both Alan and Amansolo, you have some kind of, trailing stop here. If it were me at this point, close below the previous day's low or close below this band of moving averages here. ROL, Amansolo. Oh, I've never seen Amansolo lose on a trade. So this one did not work. Under 30, over 30, rejected the third ATR channel, V2, went up the first day and then down and then down. If this closed below halfway of this bar, which it's threatening to do, if I was in that trade, I would get out. Love, let's see. Amansolo also took love. With this higher low V1 here, back on the 23rd, did move up, down slightly today. That's a big mover, isn't it? That's a $14 stock percentage-wise. So, I would probably use halfway the washout bar. Right here would be my stop. Right in here, if I was trading that. And Mount Doji bought BLDR on the 24th with this bullish engulfing bar, V1, and looks like he's about even on the trade. And then CME is Jesse. Jesse bought back here, I think, at 202.05. This one's been up and down and up and down. It's slightly up today, but it looks like it has not closed below halfway the washout bars. So that's probably how I would handle it if I were. All right, so yeah, I thought you had been here before, Shelton. Evan says, thoughts on NFE? It's not too bad. Not too bad. Has a V2 here. As long as it stays over the close 1608. So as long as it stayed over 1608, I think it does offer you a pretty good risk to reward ratio. With the close below halfway the washout bar. And WBA. Well, we have a bit of a V2 here, but when we come from under the value zone into the value zone, I want two. Well, yeah, I guess we did get 2 days. We got 1 day, 2 days. Higher low V2. Yeah, that's not bad either. It's not bad either. I would probably use the 50-day moving average as my stop here, because it has a confluence of the 50 and the 10 and the 5 and the 50 RSI. So yeah, let me know if you take any of those guys. Dr. Long says, putting money to work and Fed is pumping, emerging market dollars, all same trade. Yep. Andrew says, what kind of heat do you have? No, it's forced air. It's natural gas. It's forced air. Murat says, I think people are starting to fear about inflation. There was a long queue in front of a gold coin store in Germany. Germany will limit purchases. Oh, wow. That's something. I think you're right. I think people are concerned about inflation and why they're going to gold. And so Alan's out of CMCSA. Murat says, people are just buying as much as they can right now. You can buy up to 10,000 euros without ID. Johnny says, I'm at 80% cash right now, waiting for a dip. I have more time to analyze things. I had a great year, still holding MDR. This is up 125%. Good gracious. Good luck to everybody next year. Yes, sir. Good luck. MDR is McDermott, yes. All right, so I am going to go ahead and start getting out of things here. Amazon looks fine, obviously. GE I'm going to get rid of. Gold is fine. Looks like it's holding over 70. VIX looks fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of GE. So GE is gone. All right. So that is that. We have 1 minute left. Let's take a look here. All right. So we're all set. right. That looks like it's that. So we're out of GE. For a small little gain. We have Amazon and we have gold. Silver, I ran out of shares, so I'm out of silver. And SPY, where do we get filled on SPY? 322.94. $322.94. So that's the new overnight SPY trade right there. And then VIX. So we have a little bit of Amazon left. Little bit of gold left. Overnight SPY trade. That's the new position. And then VIX. VIX held in there above the washout of the December 20th. So that held in there as well. So that is that. That is that. So anyway, really great day. Very grateful for that. I'm going to get to the rest of the comments just real quickly. I just want to put in my quick little plug, let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching and mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I do like to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I do offer a course. It's 5 sessions. Each session is between 2 and 3 hours. It's a pretty intense course. During the first part of the course, I teach you. Second part of the course, I have you teach it all back to me. We do a lot of chart study. We go through tons of charts. I have you break down the charts. What's positive? What's negative? What's the risk to reward? What's our next trade? Right? So, you know, if you've been thinking about taking my course with me, the one-on-one course, let me know. I do like to have at least a 30, 40, 50, 60-minute phone call or Skype call with somebody first, just to make sure we're good fit for each other. You can ask me, you know, about my trading or how I teach. I can ask you a little bit about what your process has been, what your challenges have been, what your goals are. And then if we decide to work together, you know, that I will take your goals into consideration when putting together the plan. The lesson plan for you. So if you're interested, the email is in the description of this video. My email is, and then you can also reach out to me on Twitter as well. And like I said, the Skype call, you know, there's no obligation. It's totally free. So if you're interested, reach out to me. And then if you like today's podcast, if you found it helpful, if you find this channel helpful, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you could, hit the thumbs up button for me, maybe before you head on out. I would really appreciate that. It helps Google know that, or YouTube know that, you know, the channel has some value to it, and it helps promote it. And there's a lot of people out there that need help with trading, let me tell you what. So if you could hit the thumbs up button, I would appreciate it. All right. So Alan's out of CMCSA. I don't know about Aman Solo though, so I'm gonna take Alan's name off there. A few days ago, Swap says, few days ago, before I bought McDonald's stock at 193, I was hoping it would go up to 200 at the end of the year, but it's still in the range 193 to 196. 197. Well, at least you're still up on it. I do like we made a higher high here. We're in the value zone. Nice to see it coming up here. Just make sure, Swap, that you know you have some kind of plan, right? You have some kind of stop to tell you whether it's going to be wrong, because it may not go to 200, right? You have to prepare yourself for that. It may not possibly go to 200. Evan, WBA. All right, so Evan is in at 58.80. Evan M. There you go, bud. And like you said, if it closes below 50-day in the future, I will get out. Good. But it is above 50. It did go through all the moving averages here. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's a higher low V2. So with 2 days down, day 1, day 2, then the reversal, back over everything. MACD's getting close to crossing as well, so that's good. All right, did anybody else take anything else today? So hit a yearly high again today, which I'm grateful for. Swap, thanks for the tip, man. Liked and subscribed. Oh, good. Have a good evening and bye from France. See you tomorrow. Oh, you're from France. Great. We also have another viewer, Frederick from France, that's in here every once in a while. He's from Paris. So thank you, Swap. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, look at McDermott. You know, sideways motion always leads, or sideways motion or small bars lead to big bars. And that's exactly what happened here. Big bars lead back to small bars, right? Man, so glad the heater's going. So Dr. Long, we're hoping that IBB goes down for you by tomorrow. Murray says, Frederick hasn't shown up for a long time. Yeah, because of his job. I've been in contact with Frederick from France, so he emails me with some questions and so forth. So he says hi to everybody, by the way. But he's doing something where he can't do it at nighttime, but he watches after. Kyle says, wow, you have quite a community from all around the world. I know, it's great, isn't it? I think it's just so awesome. Really, I do. I really appreciate you guys being here. All right. Man, look at Amazon. That's insane. It's just crazy. But again, sideways motion, boom. What it does from here, I have no idea. Maybe we'll have another big day up tomorrow. It's possible. Or it could just go sideways for a while as well. But, you know, I'm out of about 80% of this trade now. So I've got very few shares left. Okie dokie. Evan says, have you seen what Rite Aid has done? No, I have not. Holy smokes. Up 18% today? Holy smokes. Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. That's way up there in the nosebleed section, isn't it? Did you have any, Evan? Kyle says, mind taking a quick look at Yum? Absolutely. Oops. We did have a V1 yesterday, but I would not have taken this because this is a lower high than this previous high. I would need it to wash out here. But yeah, that's pretty awesome right there. Closed above the 50-day moving average, closed above this range here. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, this could very easily get back up here to like 105, halfway. Remember these big down bars? Usually at about 50% of those big down bars, you're going to have resistance if you come back up to it. So, you know, right here, 104, 105. But yeah, that's a nice move, but I don't see any trigger there at the moment, Kyle. Murat says an object in motion will stay in motion. Consider the size of the Amazon. The momentum will push it a long way. Could be. Could be. But of course, you know, we have to know what we're going to do one way or the other, right? If it closes below 70, for me, that's just the signal to get out of. If it heads up here, gets to my final profit target, and it keeps going up after that, that's fine too. But you know, what a day today. Evan says, I wish I had some Rite Aid. I had my eye on it when it was battling the 30 RSI, but never got in. It was under $8 a share and now 19. Wow. Yeah, this is some crazy times, guys. I mean, this reminds me of the internet bubble back in the late 90s. I don't quite know what to say about it. I mean, you know, I think a lot of the move in this market is obviously because of the Fed. So, you know, let's enjoy it while it lasts, right? I think that's a record for profit targets. I don't think I've ever hit 8 profit targets before. So, take a look here. How many more trading days do we have? 1, 2, 3 more trading days for the year. How about that, everybody? 3 more. Boy, I remember last year at this time, the day of Christmas Eve, it was unbelievable. The Dow was down like 700 points. I mean, what a difference a year makes, right? All right, if anybody has any other questions for me. Murat says, dancing until the music stops. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Hey, I don't know if Anthony's out there listening, but if he is, hey Anthony, good to see you, buddy. I know sometimes he can't get there. And Bruce, I think Bruce is on a road trip today, probably listening in his car. So good. Hopefully you're driving safe, Bruce, and thanks for tuning in if you're out there. Murat says, 2018 November, I almost broke my account. That was brutal, Murat. I know. I mean, it was unbelievable. People were just walking around in a daze. The selling just did not stop whatsoever. Greg, can you... Oh, hey, Bing He, what's going on, bud? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for sending that email and that over. Bing He's done some pretty cool stuff with this trading view code. Greg says... Bing He says, can you look at DRI? I tried to take the trade at the last minute, but market closed. Oh, okay. DRI. So let's see. We were under 30. Back over 30, stayed above 30, had a little bit of a V1 today, I think. Let's see, low, 18.15, low 18.4. Yeah, I'm not sure I would be, I don't think I would buy it here, to be honest with you. I mean, we went under 30, over 30, and then it failed. It held above 30. I understand that, but I like when we go under 30, then over 30, and then it moves up. It's kind of been, I guess it's just about even where it went back over 30. We don't have a bullish divergence here. We're still under the third ATR channel. We don't have any real support back here. To be honest with you, Bing He, I don't like it, to be honest with you. Where it says it was leveraged like crazy. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. Isn't that true? You know, we're making these decisions sometimes and you look back on it and you go, why did I do that? I must have been insane. Right? And that's what happens. You know, you get caught up in the emotions of the market. You add on more and more and more to losers thinking it's got to be the bottom. It's just a bad way to trade. You know, there are times where, yeah, it will pay off, but there are times where it just continues to go down more and more and more. And it's like it's impossible to get out. And you know, you're risking all of this money on one trade. On one single trade. Don't, you know, let's not risk our whole account on one single trade or one single time frame or one single week. You know, let's look at it for the long term. Let's take a long-term view of trading. You know, just take one trade at a time. If we run into a bad patch, then we run into a bad patch, but let's not blow up our account over it. So pretty light at the moment. 20%, about 20% left of Amazon is all I have. So that's a light position. Gold, probably 80%, or only 20% left of gold. Amazon, I only have 20%, not 80. 20% left of Amazon, 20% of gold. Of course, SPY is the new position. And then just down slightly on the VIX. So I'm pretty light. I am pretty light here. If it keeps going, then that's just fine. Murat says, you need hard stops for this kind of situation. Once you carry too much risk, you lose your track. It's true. Yeah, I think Murat's saying you just need to put hard stops in the system and not rely on yourself to execute those stops, right? The soft stops. Murat says, in normal times, you can do okay without hard stops, but in turbulent times, you will need them. Experience and learn the hard way. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you know, there's an old saying, learn from your lessons because you paid for them, right? So if you do make a mistake in the market, and you will, everybody does, just try to learn from it, right? Just try to learn from it because you paid for that mistake. All right. Well, listen, if you have any questions, any more questions, please let me know. I'm going to start saying goodbye to everybody, but I'll check questions again. But Murat, thank you for coming by today, my friend. Appreciate it. Murat says, yes, hard stop is the one you enter your trading platform. That's right. So Murat, good seeing you. Bing He, good seeing you. Hope you have a good day there in Singapore. Kyle, thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. Hope you keep coming back. Evan, good to see you. So we put you down for WBA, right? Yeah, WBA. So good seeing you, Evan. Let's take a look here. Johnny, good to see you. Glad you popped in. Hope you had a good holiday. Hope to see you again, bud. Swap, thank you for coming from France. Hope you keep coming back. Alan, nice to see you. Andrea, good seeing you, my friend. There anything I can help you with, you let me know, okay? And thanks for asking about my heater. Dr. Long, good seeing you. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Shelton Johnson, nice to see you. Hope you had a good holiday and hope to see you come back. And Pat O'Connell, nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Christopher, good seeing you. And yes, I did close GE. and have a good evening there in the UK. Kurt, good seeing you, my friend. Anything I can help you with, bud, you just let me know, okay? Oh, Bing He said hi up here. I didn't see him earlier. All right. And Steve Burns, good seeing you. Fantastic day for Steve today. Nice going, bud. And thank you so much for coming. As always, Dirk, good seeing you. And thanks for coming by from Belgium. And Frank, always great to see you. Thanks for the poem. I'm going to post that later for sure. No Hernandez, thank you for coming by, but I do not invest in penny stocks. And honestly, I wouldn't suggest anyone does, to be honest with you. And Lolly, nice to see Lolly. So I'll be getting together soon with her. Hope you have a good day, Lolly. Say hello to Earl for me. Toby Petty, thanks for coming by. Good to see you. And I think that is it. So anyway, two things before we leave. One, please make sure you go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or a wave or a hello or hold the door open. Just something, right? You really could influence that person's the rest of the day in a really nice way just by doing one small little thing. So let's try to do that every day. And then every day, if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up button if you can. I would appreciate that too on the way out. So, all right, everybody, good day today, and glad to have my heater back, right? And so I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, right? During the last hour of the market. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your day now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.